This story begins with a young Naruto up to some mischief. Not only was he skipping class at the academy, but he was also going through with a dare, walking in and out of the forest of death. After all, Naruto wasn't one to back down from a challenge, and he also desperately wanted his peers' approval, even if said approval was from an unsavory bunch. So, the young boy, no older than 7, walks into the forest of death. Naruto walks around for about 5 minutes before he got bored.
This is so easy, not to mention boring. I should be able to go back now. I can't have Iruka-sensei finding me.
He then turns around, only to be met by a giant centipede, salivating at the thought of eating him. He promptly screams and runs away even further into the forest. This alerts Iruka to the boy's general location, making the teacher not only furious at Naruto, but quite worried due to the amount of danger he put himself into. Iruka promptly dashes towards the source of the scream as fast as he could. Naruto eventually stopped running, stopping to catch his breath.
I think I'm safe now.
Just then, his thoughts are cut off once he hears his name being yelled by the familiar voice of Iruka. Shuddering at the thought of being scolded once again and subsequently punished, Naruto attempts to hide by a nearby tree. What he didn't expect, however, was to find a mummified left arm just by the trunk at the point which leads outwards. This caused Naruto to trip backwards, causing him to cut himself on the thorns of a bush and fall to the ground. Even worse was that this led to Iruka finding him, fulfilling Naruto's worst fears. As they walked out of the forest, however, neither of them seemed to notice that the grass around the place where Naruto had fallen grew ever so slightly. As time went on, strange occurrences kept happening around Naruto. He would walk by the Yamanaka flower shop and all of the plants would suddenly grow at a noticeable rate. He would go to grab Gamachan, only for an actual frog to be there instead, leading to Naruto chasing after it and finding his froggy wallet in the creature's place. These events continue until Naruto's graduation exam, which he of course fails. Mitsuki then tells him about the scroll of sealing and Naruto steals it as normal. All goes according to canon, with Naruto learning that he is a Jinchuriki and fleeing while Iruka tricks and fights Mizuki. However, right as Mizuki had a Demon Wind Shuriken set to pierce Iruka and end his life, a small tree suddenly appeared in the way of the shuriken and was skewered, followed by blood beginning to burst out of Mizuki's chest, coinciding with a wail of pain. Naruto then jumped out of the tree thinking,
Well, I'm not too sure what that was about, but I'll take it.
Naruto then proclaims that if Mizuki tries to hurt his sensei again, he'll kill him. This is followed by Naruto casting the multi-shadow clone jutsu and pummeling the rogue Chunin. Afterwards, Iruka gives Naruto his headband and congratulates him for graduating from the academy. The duo then go to celebrate over ramen, and the teacher asks his student about the strange tree, with Naruto nonchalantly replying that he doesn't know while stuffing his face with his furred ball of ramen that he would have that night. Naruto then has some downtime before he is assigned to a genin team, and he begins thinking about that tree.
So, Mitsuki threw a giant shuriken, a tree blocked it, and he got hurt? I have no idea how any of that happened,
Naruto says bemused, before then being reminded of those weird things that would happen to him, like Gamachan being replaced with a frog, or those plants that would grow.
Oh yeah, maybe that's what happened. But wait, I don't know why that stuff happened either, he yells in annoyance.
However, his attention is then drawn to the plant in the corner of his room, which is making a cracking sound. I don't think that's good, Naruto thought before he walked over and checked on it. He then noticed that the plant seemed to be decaying, as if it was nearing the end of its lifespan.
But I liked that plant,
Naruto whined. While it was kinda boring to him, it still looked at least a bit cool. Just after he says this, it's as if the plant halted its decay. Naruto was at first elated, but then a thought occurred to him. Did he cause that? After all, he had learned recently that the Kibi was sealed inside of him, so maybe that came with some strange abilities. So, he focused on the plant, attempting to reverse the decay that he may have caused. And slowly, the plant's life returned. Naruto was elated. This power, it was incredible. It would help him achieve his dream for sure. During the remainder of his downtime, he trained this new power as hard as he could, incorporating it into many different tricks and moves for him to use in combat. This also led him to realize 2 things. 1, that yes, those random animals that would show up were also due to his ability. 2, both the animals and plants that he can create and affect the lifespans of can reflect damage. This culminates in the genin team selections, which, unfortunately for Naruto, happen the same as in canon. Well, at least up until he decides to pull a prank on Kakashi. Instead of just using the chalk, he rigs the chalk so it'll transfigure into a centipede after it hit his head. Needless to say, Kakashi really doesn't appreciate this turn of events, not even stating what he thinks about the kids before telling them to meet him up on the roof in an irritated voice. After this, everything goes the same up until the bell test. Everyone on Team 7 introduces themselves, as Naruto talking about his dream while Sasuke talked about killing someone and Sakura fawned over him. When the bell test begins, Sakura and Sasuke both dash off, but Naruto remains in the same place, eager to prove himself against the Jonin. Kakashi then pulls out his Icha Icha book, angering Naruto that he wasn't taking this seriously. Naruto then summons 5 shadow clones and they all charge at Kakashi, with one of the Narutos throwing a kunai at him, which lands at his feet. Kakashi then has a passing thought about the kid's poor aim before he effortlessly fended off and dispelled each of Naruto's clones, along with knocking the real one away. Kakashi then sees the kunai from earlier fully morphing into a scorpion with its stinger up and ready to poison him. Thinking fast, he moves to kick away the scorpion, however as soon as his foot connected with the insect, he was knocked away by some mysterious force. This led to Kakashi dropping his book, getting a cheer out of Naruto, who was celebrating that his strategy worked. Ah, I see, thinks Kakashi. So that was his doing, eh? Well then I guess I'll just have to avoid attacking any bugs. Naruto then charges in with his clones again, this time with 24 of them. However, as soon as they try to attack Kakashi, he substitutes himself with the Naruto clone. Realizing that he was most likely among them, they all fight over it before one of them suggests that they just dispel all the clones, and they all agree. All of the clones then disappear with a puff of smoke, and Kakashi is nowhere to be seen. Kakashi then appears behind Naruto, making the Tiger Seal and attempting to use the 1,000 Years of Death. Thankfully, Naruto's ability activated on its own by creating a tree below him, which brought him to an elevated position, protecting its user from the death of his pride and dignity. Also thankfully, Kakashi managed to stop himself before he hit the tree. Sasuke, seeing this as an opportunity, then throws numerous weapons at Kakashi, hitting him dead on before Kakashi then disappears in a puff of smoke, being replaced by a log. Kakashi then comes back out of hiding, followed by Sasuke rushing at him for a taijutsu scuffle. This of course is a futile attempt, though the last Uchiha does manage a mere graze of the bells. Naruto intently watches this encounter, catching his breath while waiting for Sasuke to give him an opportunity to attack. Meanwhile, Sakura is just sitting in the forest, silently cheering for Sasuke. Sasuke then jumps back and begins making the hand signs for the fireball jutsu. Kakashi's eyes widen before a small fireball makes its way towards him. The Jonin then disappears, with Sasuke wondering where he went. He begins looking around before he hears a strange noise beneath him and realizes that Kakashi went underground. This realization came too late, however, as Kakashi then comes up from the ground and traps Sasuke in the earth, leaving only his head visible. As Kakashi is lecturing Sasuke, a bird swoops down and attempts to grab the bells, but Kakashi guards them with his hand while jumping away, only for multiple shadow clones to attack him. While the clones pull away Kakashi's attention, the real Naruto appears and walks over to Sasuke. "Looks like you need some help, Mr. Rookie of the Year," snarks Naruto with a smug look on his face. "Shut it, Doby. I don't need your help," replies Sasuke, getting a scowl. "Uh-huh. And look where that attitude got you," says Naruto before he sighs. "Look, Sasuke, neither of us could beat him on our own, so as much as I hate to say it, we need to work together here. So either we get the bells together, or we both fail. It's your choice." Now, you may be thinking to yourself, "But Furious, Naruto would never work with Sasuke at this point." And normally, you would be right. However, stands are based on the user's personality, right? So for Naruto to have a specific stand, his personality would need to be tweaked just a bit. As such, it would fit his character here to work with Sasuke if it means getting closer to his goal. Sasuke then reluctantly agrees and tells the blonde to hurry up and get him out of the hole he's in. They don't have time to make any plans though, as Kakashi then returns from his scuffle with the clones, 2 bells still on his waist. The Genin duo then charge in once again as Kakashi effortlessly defends against them. "Just mindlessly attacking me together won't help you," Kakashi says bluntly. He then knocks both of them away before then asking if they wish to give up. They both refuse, and then Naruto charges back in, only to be grabbed and held in place by Kakashi. Along with this, Sasuke throws a volley of shuriken only for them to be dodged or deflected. Well, except for one that wasn't being aimed at Kakashi himself, but rather the string that was holding onto the bells. Panicking, Kakashi attempts to grab the bells that fell before a snake created by Naruto nabs them, both in its mouth. Kakashi then looks at Naruto, who had a shit-eating grin on his face as he disappeared. "He was a shadow clone?" Kakashi thinks, surprised. Naruto then grabs the bells from the snake, which takes a bit of effort due to not having full control of the life forms he makes. Naruto then tosses a bell to Sasuke and they both hold them up victoriously. Kakashi then sighs before congratulating the two on their teamwork. Wait, teamwork? Kakashi explains that the way you pass the test is by working together, though he does chastise them about not including Sakura in their plan. Speaking of the pink-haired Konoichi, where was she? As if on cue, Sakura walks out of the forest and congratulates the two. Though she didn't really help, she still gets to pass. Kakashi then takes them all to the memorial stone and shares his motto with them. He then tells them to meet him at the training ground the next day so they can take their first mission. They all head home, with Kakashi wondering himself what that strange ability Naruto had was, and how he has it.